This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of their affiliated organizations.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Ready to Connect. I'm Ryan.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Heather.
And Lisa, you want to talk about what we're going to discuss today?
Well, today we're going to do.
They're putting you on the spot.
Yeah, good punting. Today we're going to talk about the last three Claires. I like to call them sort of like the supporting actors to the main actors that we've already discussed. So we're going to talk about Clairalience, Clairgustance, and Clairtangency. These are the gifts of being able to smell spirit, taste spirit, and getting energy off of things that we touch. Yeah. So that's what we'll be discussing today. But before then, Ryan, what have you been up to outside this podcast and metaphysical world?
Outside this podcast, so some of you may have seen it on our extra content that we just filmed, but I'll share it again. So I'm really excited because in my birdhouse I have a house sparrow couple. I call them Simon and Sally Sparrow. Those are their names. I do name the birds.
I love it.
Our audience is gonna learn a lot about Ryan. Like that's they may not want to know that. Anyway,
I love it.
So I'm always like, "Hey Simon, hey Sally," whenever I go out. And anyway, Simon has been trying really hard to find a mate, and he finally found Sally. So that's great. And so basically, they had some eggs, and they finally hatched, and I'm excited because I see 3 of their little heads popping out of the birdhouse.
Simon had to slow Sally's Mustang down.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, he got her attention finally. He spent months trying to get someone's attention.
So Uncle Ryan has little.
Yes, so I feel like a proud uncle, proud parent. I don't know what. I'm like taking photos.
That's awesome.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
You're learning a lot about what I do in my spare time.
So wait, you don't have that Bird Buddy camera on them though, right?
Correct. Yeah. So okay, so I won't be a spokesperson for Bird Buddy, but let me tell you something. That's probably one of the best cameras that I have for capturing birds. They're just going to my bird feeder and eating, but I get video. I spoke with the company and asked them, can we get audio too? Not that I want to hear them eat, but I want to hear them chirp. So they actually implemented that.
Wow.
So you can hear them now. You can get photos and you can see it live as well.
So what's the most interesting bird that has stopped by Ryan's house to have a little snack?
In all honesty, I've been quite intrigued by the mourning dove that came up onto the feeder because usually they're on the ground. Yeah. And this one brave mourning dove decided to just fly up onto the feeder. So I've been intrigued by that recently. So just because it's rare. I haven't seen that. So, or at least in my backyard.
It might have a message for you.
Very cool.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, because that one, it's a younger one too, and it's very brave, and it travels with the parents, and that's the only one that's been up there.
And that would make sense.
Yeah, yep.
It's brave, it's young.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's all lining up.
That's a good point.
You could probably figure out who it is.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably not a girl either.
That's a good point.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What about you, Heather? What have you been up to?
Meteor shower watching.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fantastic. I don't know.
We went out one time.
We went out, Lisa and I.
Yeah.
Yep, we got video of that. Make sure you check that out.
Awesome.
Pictures.
I took
pictures I can share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hard to get it on video. More pictures. But yeah, we went up to Horse Barn Hill.
Uh-huh.
Saw a couple, right?
Yeah, you didn't see as many as your boyfriend Kyle did, and I saw some. It was very faint. There's a little more light pollution up there, even from the big light on the barn.
But on Saturday or Friday, we went to Quanatock Breachway in Rhode Island, and there's no light pollution there, and the meteor shower was magnificent. I love seeing the big meteors with the big tails. Like you're just like, wow,
yeah,
it's incredible. So yeah, that was fun. Lots of kayaking going on right now. Just loving being out in the water. Although the other day, I paddled all the way across. Then I got talking to my best friend over here, and the next thing I know, I was like floating way off the bar.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth, and she goes, I think I need to
man.
paddle now.
I got to paddle now. I was like, oh man, I got to make up all this time.
Every time I say, "Hey, you want to come over, dip in the pool?" And he goes, "I'm in the middle of Bigelow Hollow and my kayak." I'm like, "Okay."
That's funny.
At least that one doesn't have a strong current, so like you can make it up. But it was a little windy, so like
Oh,
you
yeah.
get those like wacky, wavy, incredible armband kind of
Yeah.
feeling. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, But yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun to be out there, especially like when the birds fly by you and or just the stillness.
Yeah.
It's just peaceful. It clears your head, clears your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very cool.
What you been up to?
So my niece has been spending time with me. She was
Yeah.
here to watch. She thought watching a podcast being taped was pretty cool and awesome, by the way.
Oh, that's
Um,
great. Good feedback.
Yeah. And but on the day I needed to bring her home, she indulged me. We went to Wethersfield, Connecticut. They had a book walk
Oh,
set up.
really?
And so basically you walk Main Street, this is just up on my alley, and all the Connecticut authors, local Connecticut authors were there with their books that they've written, and you can talk with them. You can, obviously buy their books. They would sign them. And who knew there's a lot of authors that live in Connecticut, and we only did half the walk, and we needed to kind of go and bring her home. But so she indulged me in that. I got to meet a lot of cool authors, ask questions, about their journey. I might have went home with 1, 2, 6 or 7 books. But
That's awesome.
it was a really great time. And of course, we got to try the creamery that's in Wethersfield on our ice cream thing. And not only that, but my niece never been to Dairy Queen before. So Heather and I took her to
Oh.
Dairy Queen.
Yes,
Oh, there you go.
I can't believe it. She's never
Yeah.
been to Dairy
We
Queen.
took her
Wow.
to Dairy Queen. Actually the same day of our podcast taping.
Yeah.
We went to and I actually have some, I don't know if I have videos or pictures of that, because over at Charter Oak Park there's a whole sound, I don't know if you know this, but they have
Yeah.
sound stations set up
They
that
have
you
Oh,
can
sound
really?
stations stayed up.
play
Oh,
different. It's
wow.
really cool. We had fun playing. I got pictures of that. I can send that along if anybody wants to put that up on our social media. If anybody's interested in looking at that, but
Yeah,
You
they
never
were
know, yeah.
like the big pipes and
Yeah, yeah.
like a xylophone, and we were just running around creating sound. It was so much fun.
in the heat humidity of
In
the
the
day.
heat, and then
Yeah.
There you
finally
go.
we were like,
All right,
okay,
time to go in the pool.
Yeah, there you go.
But it was so it was great to do that book walk, and I'm really looking forward to this Saturday coming up. So I don't have a very large family, so when my family does get together, I really enjoy it. And I have 3 cousins, 3 first cousins, and really only one that I know well, and he lives in Georgia, and him and his family are coming up to see one of my great aunts who lives in Long Island, and they're all coming up as a group on Saturday to my brother's house. So the family's going over there to see them, because I haven't seen them since, my Uncle Norman passed, which was a while, because they live in Georgia.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I'm really
understandable.
looking forward to that. And I just let my oldest know that that's happening, and he said he might come down for it. So whenever all of my children are together, it's a happy mom moment. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Speaking of books, when are you two going to write a book together?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
We've
Because
talked about
it came to me
thousands
while
of
you were talking about
times.
this. I had to ask.
Yeah,
We've talked about it, but what would that book be about? There's already a lot of books out there about, psychic senses and how to be psychic and all that kind of stuff. Then we thought we'd make a book about all this strange, weird, well, how do I say this?
Experiences?
The world is a very interesting place with all the people in it.
With all
Oh,
the
oh.
interesting people we've met along our
And-
14 or 12 years.
And
how
unique
many years of
situations.
business. But then it's like, well, I don't know if that's really cool to do. I don't know. So
Yeah,
we've talked about it.
yeah, we have talked about it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
but nothing's been ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
May-
That's about it. Flat
maybe
in
it's
the water.
time
Yeah.
to start thinking of ideas.
It's like what do you write about
Yeah.
that's new and different, because everybody
True.
has a book out there about how to be psychic or
That's
psychic
true.
senses or
And then you
healing.
run into the whole copyright thing. Like, what if I say it just like so and so said it? Now I got to
Oh.
rearrange my words because I say it that way, but somebody's already taken that.
Yeah.
So, like, if we write a book, it would have to be something that, like, isn't isn't what's all out there, which we could do, but I don't think we've put that from here to there yet. to the paper yet.
Unless it was to be more of a memoir thing.
Mm,
And then we're opening up our lives for that.
true. That's a good point. Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
It might come to you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Some people have very interesting lives, just saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could even be interviewing spirits. Have that be a book.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Well, I mean, we are
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
so
yeah.
we could write a book off of this, the three of us.
Yep.
Co-author.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So, Claire, which one do we
Yeah,
want to
which
talk
one do
about
Why
you-
don't we
first?
start with Clairalience, which is smelling spirits.
Oh,
Spirit
okay.
smells. And I
Yep.
think many people have this type of experience and maybe don't realize it. So if you could think back, have you ever smelled things? And I think the more typical smells that spirit gives us are things like cigarette smoke, perfume, maybe even something that's been cooking, like something savory.
Mhm.
Um, and
Cookies.
and it's more these scents that you get that don't belong. So there's no smokers in my house or anything like that. So if I was to smell cigarette smoke, I would know that that would be spiritually given.
Mhm.
Either that or one of my kids is smoking and shouldn't be in the house, but no kids are at home, so it's not them. I know that my mother-in-law will come through with the smell of roses. So if I smell
okay.
roses, I know that my mother-in-law is visiting, is around. And Pop comes through with a cigarette smell, but not in my house, only in my brother's house because I
Oh,
don't
wow.
tolerate the smell of cigarettes in my house. I
Wow.
don't like it. And I guess he knows that. So whenever they smell cigarette smoke there, they know Pop's visiting. So
Does he know to come in like with a different scent for you?
yeah, we'll talk
or-
about that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not a scent. He doesn't come through with a
Oh, okay.
smell.
Okay.
Yeah. I've smelled things like, I mean, this is kind of gross, but I'll smell cat urine and I'll know
Oh, wow.
that even though I have cats, I had one cat that just towards the end of life had a hard time, would just end up peeing different places.
Mm.
And wherever scratches went, it was cat urine smell. And it peed on so many rugs. Can't tell you how many times I changed carpets because of cat pee. So when I smell cat urine, aside from checking my own cats, which are not peeing places, I know that Scratches is visiting.
Hmm.
So I'll smell cat urine. Kind of
Wow.
gross, but
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
How about you? Have you had a scent waft through?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know, and I've known this for years actually. Actually, he might be my great great uncle Art. He was in his 90s when I knew him, and I was a little kid. He was my favorite relative as a kid growing up. Just so fascinating to hear his stories. And whenever he comes in, still to this day, it's the smell of vanilla. For some reason, it. And I asked my mother the other day, actually a couple weeks ago. I was like, why is it whenever I smell vanilla, I think of Uncle Art? And she said, "Oh, that's because back then he was smoking a pipe. That was the scent
Oh,
The scent,
of
the
the
vanilla.
of
tobacco.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." So, and I was like, "Oh, I had no idea." Like growing up, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's just him. I'm smelling vanilla." Like I didn't put it
Wow.
together that it was the pipe.
You don't see a lot of people smoking pipes anymore.
No.
Pop
Nope.
used to smoke a pipe. He used to
Yeah.
have like a little carousel with them, little pipes.
Yeah.
Nothing
So
like the smell of you do? Oh, wow. Yeah, like the Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Okay. That's a good
oh,
plan.
there you go.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, you had that very long beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's meatballs. I always know when
Oh,
grandma's here.
yeah.
You can smell her amazing meatballs wafting through the air. And yeah, so that's one, definitely one that we pay attention to. Like, even when we're not cooking, obviously we're not cooking meatballs. You can smell it. She knows she's visiting, which is cool.
It's interesting. So this gift of smelling spirit, a lot of times people have that experience and don't realize it's happening.
True.
And it might make you think of somebody who's passed, and then you realize because smells are directly related to our memory.
Mm.
and nostalgia. So if you smell something, it can bring back a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So for a lot of people who are out there, our listeners, viewers, whatever, if you smell something and it brings back a memory of someone who's passed, I think you can really bank on the fact that spirit was visiting you. And
Yes.
that's how they try to connect to your memory so that you know that they're around. I think most psychics, when we do readings, the smell of spirit doesn't always happen. But if it does, it adds to the richness of a reading, I think.
It does.
And not all smells are great smells. Like I said, I had the cat urine, but we've
True.
smelled some BO. I know for sure that if I outlive my brother, which I hope that doesn't happen, but if I outlive my brother, I'll be smelling his farts. Sorry, Rob.
Do you remember that one reading we did where I could see this woman walking up the stairs, and at the same time we both smelled like little, we could hear it, but like farting grandma. Like you could hear her going up the stairs, right? And we were kind of like, oh. But then right behind it came that quick smell, and you're like, okay, grandma, we got you.
Yeah. So the smells aren't always fabulous. I would love to
Mhm.
say we smell, wonderful cooking smells, or, sometimes the floral perfume can be pretty strong. And
I can imagine that it would be.
And I think it depends on sometimes the era they're from.
Mm.
Like for a while, we had a specific clientele coming for readings, and like
Gina Tay.
Gina Tay.
All you could smell was Gina
All
Tay.
we could smell, like every other reading was like this bath water that they used to make. I think they still make it actually. It's like this yellow container, and it was called Gina Tay. Gina Tay, and it had a very distinct smell, but it was like a 60s, 70s thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so for a while we were like, oh, the Gina Tay's back.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so smelling things isn't like you take a big sniff and it's there. It's more of a sensory that just kind of activates.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a deja vu feeling, if that makes any sense. Like, when you have deja vu, you're like, oh, I feel like I've been here before. Well, with smelling, it's almost like I smell something,
Mm.
but it's not. It's almost a deja vu feeling. Like I
Yeah.
recognize this smell. If that helps anybody to maybe put it more into context, like it's a feeling like you recognize it, and it doesn't belong in context. But it's not walking in the room and going, and you're like, oh, chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to taste chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a unique. Again, there's always the good side and the bad side that you have to kind of contend with. There are the good smells and the bad smells,
Mm-hmm.
like anything.
You could smell medicinal things, stuff like that. Fruity smells usually.
Diabetes.
Yeah,
They
can
had
indicate that the spirit might
diabetic
have had.
problem is
Oh,
usually
really?
fruity breath.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Or sometimes you'll get the smell of blood, like that high iron or copper smell.
I wouldn't want to smell that.
It's not. It's not
Yeah.
always fun, but sometimes it's that richness that it brings where you can pinpoint exactly who that was.
Mm.
Like they had a blood disorder or they had whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But everybody has their own scent as well. Thank you. Oh, you hear
He's gotta be
sneezing out
dad.
there.
He's
Yeah,
being daddy.
sneezing out there.
Well, we are talking about smell,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
makes sense.
So, there's not a whole lot more to say about Clairalience.
Have you had a smelling experience?
Yeah, with my great uncle, but then recently, yes, actually. So I have permission to tell this story. So, my roommate, her father passed away over a year ago, and it was maybe like 3-4 months ago. Um, I was in the living room, and we have like 2 levels. So she was downstairs in her room, I was upstairs in the living room, and all of a sudden I smelled rubbing alcohol, and I was like, and that's such that strong smell.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And I was literally getting up and sniffing around the room.
Like,
'Cause I was
where is it?
Where's
Where
it
is it?
coming from?
Did I drop the bottle of rubbing alcohol?
Yeah. And
Do I even have
so-
rubbing alcohol?
yeah, and no worries, you can walk through. I'm just in.
I don't want to interrupt. I want to say out.
Yep.
Yep.
No, we'll have that as Chris walking through. Anyways.
Yeah, that'll be our. He really does exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Footage.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Transition. So whenever I walk by,
Different. There you go.
Yes. Yeah. Um.
I
like-
love it.
Find Chris,
That's
and then
very
you know.
creative.
Yeah. Um,
Find Chris.
Once you see Chris coming by, then you know. Anyway, so
Rubbing alcohol. That's
yes,
rubbing
yeah. So I was literally walking around the living room trying to find where was this scent coming from, and then, later on she came upstairs and we were just talking, and I was like, "Were you like painting your nails or something?" Because I'm thinking like, "Where's rubbing alcohol coming from?" And she's like, "No," and she said, "Why?" I didn't say rubbing alcohol at that point. I said, "Were you painting your nails or removing nail polish?" And she said, "No, why?" And I said, "I could just smell rubbing alcohol." And so then she said, "Oh, well, she's like, that's crazy. Like I was thinking of my dad, and he was an avid bowler, and they would rub the bowling balls with
Rubbing
some type,
alcohol.
yeah, like rubbing or some type of like rubbing alcohol or something that smelled like rubbing alcohol." So
if it smells like nail polish remover, it's not rubbing alcohol. It's acetone.
okay, thank you, Chris.
Acetone is commonly used to remove resin,
Yeah,
and it's extremely sticky.
this is why we have them.
Used it for making
So not rubbing alcohol, it's a nail polish removal. There we go.
acetone.
I always
Acetone.
thought it was like okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but you use acetone to get like surgical tape off of you.
oh,
and
that's
stuff
true.
Like that.
Yeah,
Very good at dissolving anything sticky.
yeah.
Yeah, like Coca-Cola.
So was it rubbing alcohol you're smelling or acetone?
Now he's questioning it.
Now I don't know. Well, whatever nail polish removal is.
Acetone.
Nail
So
polish
then
remover is
that's what it is. Okay.
we use
I
to
got
buy
them
it from
confused.
Nail
Oh,
Nail
okay.
supply store, 'cause they have 5-gallon jugs of it.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense. Anyway.
Did your
So-
nails often? Did you?
Yeah.
We painted boats
Oh, there you go.
and did fiberglass work.
Oh.
That's how you clean everything.
Acetone.
Dissolve resin.
I didn't realize they did bowling balls in acetone though. Is that
Yeah,
because
whatever.
the
It's an
wax.
extremely powerful solvent. If you pour it into, you have to pour it in special containers or it'll melt plastic.
Whoa.
And like styrofoam, you may have seen people just like dissolve stuff into it. It's literally like you
Oh.
can't even drop it; it'll dissolve.
So
Okay.
anything that was stuck to the bowling ball, anything, it would clean
Yeah.
it off.
Make it
Yep.
perfectly smooth.
Yep. So
And it
so
dries
thank you,
like
Chris.
rubbing alcohol.
Very fascinating. See, I learned something new
Yeah,
today, and I
always
think
learn
that's a
something.
goal everybody should have. Learn something new every day.
Exactly. Yeah. So for the record, nail polish removal, not rubbing alcohol. But the nail, so that's why I asked, was it, was she doing her nails?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But come to find out, it was what was put on the bowling ball.
There you go.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That's
And
Yeah.
she was thinking of her
cool.
dad at the time.
She was, yes.
I like that.
So,
Very cool.
That's a nice connection.
yeah.
Wow.
So the next Claire, Clairgustance. Yeah, sounds very German.
Has a cool name to it.
It
does.
does.
Well, yeah, it does.
And that's where you taste things that don't belong. And again, you're not tasting the air. You're not walking in a room
go on.
and like licking, I love when
What
we
is-
do this in
what
our
does this room taste
classes.
And we'll
like-
say, do you taste anything from
Do you
spirit?
taste
And
it?
they all go,
The whole class goes, and you're like, yes, but that's not how we're going to do it. I love that. It's like that light bulb goes off, right?
Yeah.
But like when you're just sitting there and all of a sudden you taste a chocolate chip cookie or you taste the meatball or you
Hmm.
taste something and does
so you had asked me about Pop and how does he present, if not with cigarette smoke smell? For me, it's with the taste of butterscotch in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
He used to love butterscotch, and I remember one time I make fudge at Christmas time, and one time he really wanted me to make butterscotch fudge, so he and I together tried to doctor my recipe to make it butter. It didn't really work, But so now if he's in the house, if I don't sense him another way, and he's going to come through with a taste, it'll be with a taste of butterscotch, which is a more pleasant taste than other tastes I've received in my mouth. Because just like with Clairalience, Clairgustance, you don't always get the wonderful flavors in your mouth. You could taste things like vomit
Ooh.
or
Even blood.
Ugh.
or something metallic. If you get that metallic taste in your mouth, that usually means that the spirit connecting with you had some sort of chemical in their body, whether it was illegal or maybe like morphine drip or something like that. You can get that metallic taste in your mouth too.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over medication, accidental dose, high dose of any kind of medication will cause that tinny taste or copper taste in your mouth. Which again is another richness to add to a reading, because when you say something that personal, you can kind of pinpoint exactly who that is, because names don't always come through in readings. So sometimes we have to rely on all these subcategories to kind of make that context come to come to light.
When I say they're like supporting, actors to the main gifts of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentient, and claircognizant, I don't know of a psychic, and I could be wrong. So if you're out there, I would love to connect and chat with you.
I'd love to connect.
I don't know of any psychic that does all their readings just based on smell or just based on taste.
That would be fascinating.
I mean, it adds richness, and it certainly can round out a reading, but I don't know of anyone that could do a full reading just based on that.
Unless maybe, and this is a question for our listeners, if you're a medical medium, which Lisa and I are not medical mediums, we may get messages about health, but we're not medical mediums, that maybe a medical medium may be using these clairs through their readings more than Lisa and I would in a regular reading.
That's true. A medical intuitive would have maybe more use for that.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from some medical intuitives that maybe lean on these incredible
that might be
gifts.
a really nice guest to get.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be so interesting.
That would be fascinating, because I'd love to hear about that too.
Yeah.
I do remember 2 instances of Clairgustance coming through. Both of them with not so nice flavors in the mouth. We had one woman who was visiting us in person, and before she left, she really wanted to connect with her niece who had gone missing.
Oh, wow.
And we were trying to figure out where her niece was. We could connect with this living energy. And I think you were able to see like roadways or alleyways, and all I could taste was vomit in my mouth.
Ugh.
And I said, I think this girl is either sick, she's vomiting up stuff, either she had too much drugs in her body, and all I could taste was vomit. And it turns out this young lady had issues with addiction and things like that, and she had, I guess, gone off on a binge or whatever. And then the other time we were doing psychic readings at a party, and both of us had the flavor of some sort of certain, I don't know if it was a stew or a cookie, it was some sort of food taste. And I mean, it was okay, but all I can remember when we got back to the car is I couldn't wait for that taste to end. I do not like that food or that cookie or whatever it was, because I did not want to. I think it was a cookie, because I think they tried to give us to him and we took them, and she's like, I do not want to eat that because what I tasted. I'll never forget that. That was years ago. Yeah. But yeah.
I remember sitting on the beach one day, and I have celiac disease, so I don't drink beer anymore until recently, because I found gluten-free beer that's actually good. But prior to that, I was sitting on the beach, and like it was hot, the sun's going, at max capacity, and like I could taste like a cold beer that had been in the cooler. You know what I'm talking about, when beer is like
really good,
super cold from the cooler, and the glass is just perfectly chilled. And like, I'm looking around, and I was like, this is awesome, because I haven't had a beer in 1,000 years. And like, but then it dissipated. So whoever was sitting with me on the beach clearly cracked open a beer, and I got to experience that for a brief minute of like, oh, I remember how some beers were so good.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
I can't think of a time specifically that I've had that happen. I mean, probably here and there, but I just didn't think of it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
feel
maybe
like I want to say to you that you've had a chocolate cake experience with
probably. I could see that. Yeah, or maybe like sauce, like from my family.
yeah,
Uh
spaghetti sauce.
that's probably something that I've
If anyone
felt or
out there,
tasted.
our listeners, our viewers, have ever had a moment in time or experience where you say, "Oh, I can just taste, um, grandma's mac and cheese. Let's make mac and cheese today."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
a clear indication that that's a Clairgustance moment. And it then clicked into like a cognizant of a memory.
Hmm.
And then grandma probably was with you to make that connection. I'm
Hmm.
like, do you remember me? Do you remember me? Do you remember me through my food?
Yeah.
And often the grandparents, the moms, the grandmothers, they want to be remembered. And if they were the cooks of the family or the bakers of the family, they want to be remembered for what they were good at. And
Right.
so a lot of times those memories will come through like, oh, I really want to taste, like, I'll get moments where I'm like, I just really want to taste my grandmother's gravy.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, grandma, I got you. We're doing pot roast tonight, and I'm making that dark gravy, and we're doing it with mashed potatoes. And now I'm
You
really
do
hungry.
make good pot roast.
Oh, it's been a while since I had a really good German pot roast.
Well, it's hot out. It's supposed to
Yeah,
be
but
100 degrees.
doesn't matter how hot it is. The pot roast has got to be good. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think, being able to just take a moment and see if you taste anything or smell
Hmm.
something just, allows you to be in the moment
That's true.
and just kind of take that, moment to just revel in whatever is going on. It doesn't happen all the time for us, but I would really like to talk to somebody who maybe this is their prominent Claire's, and I'd love to hear more about it
I would
because
too.
it doesn't happen very often.
But I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think a medical intuitive or medical medium
That
I
would make
feel like
sense.
somebody,
would use those
yeah,
gifts more. It would be lovely to have them as an interview, possibly.
or
Yeah.
maybe a baker who is psychic and intuitive, where they've made that connection that they bake or cook through the based on what they're sensing through
Wow.
those clairs too,
That would be
right?
really cool.
I mean, you can't limit any category in that. Could be medical intuitive,
You're
could be
right.
a baker
You're right.
that
Yeah.
like came up with some concoction that like now they're a millionaire because they made that cream, right? Like, how did Twinkie cream come about? How did Hostess come up with was that like an accident with the sugar, or did someone intuitively create that back in the day? Like, I know my mind just goes off on those little tangents. Like, where did this come from?
I don't know, but Lordy, I'm getting hungry.
Whose idea was it to put cream in the middle of a cake?
Some German somewhere.
Some German somewhere, or some Italian making a cannoli.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Gonna say because it's Germans in our Kuchen and our cake. Yeah, my son and his wife were on their honeymoon. They went to an area that was settled primarily by Germans over in Chile, and so they went to a German restaurant. And she just sent me pictures and pictures and pictures of all the cake. She goes, "I love Kuchen." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too." Let's move on to the last one.
Sure.
Clairtangency also can be called psychometry, and that is getting messages off of things that you hold or touch. And I will say the things that are metallic tend to hold on energy longer than others. But if you've ever been impacted by, for me, it would be like a feeling or maybe a memory that would come by touching something. If I go into consignment shops or antique stores and get around objects that are older, they do have in them memory. And you can get messages off of that. We'll often have people that'll come to us, even in our psychic circles, they'll bring photos or jewelry or we've
Which
had,
you've participated with, Ryan, right?
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
so cool to hear, right? Like
yeah.
how everybody comes up with a little something variant of what's going around the circle, right?
Absolutely.
So, and you during Psychic Circle have gotten some really great things by touching the objects.
Yes.
Do you remember what that feels like?
Yeah, well, what happened is the one instance that I remember in particular was they were passing around a photo, I believe, And just holding on to the photo, it was like all of a sudden I just, like, using my senses, I got the year like 1941. So for views, I tend to get a bunch of numbers. That's just what happens. But I got 1941, and then I saw like a poppy, and then come to find out the person was in Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it was just so fascinating because I that was my first time doing something like holding onto an object
Or really
and
focusing.
yeah, and but yeah, since then and also before then, like now at least I can recognize, oh, okay, I'm getting some type of information here. Before it used to be like I'm just holding this object and then it's like an overwhelming thing, but I didn't know what to do with it.
Yep.
So, but now I know.
That's
So
why we practice it. That's why one of the things in the psychic circle we do is because it's not one that you do all the time or actually even think you're doing,
yeah,
and it's funny because like the other day I was using my grandmother's silver for the salad, and like all of a sudden I was like, wait a second, these had a whole life, couple lives right before me, and like how much history is in these salad spoons. And I
yeah.
was like, whatever, I gotta get the salad out. But like
But for that brief
for
moment,
that brief moment,
Oh,
I brought a memory back, right? And
yeah,
like, so we love doing that tangents practice in our psychic circles because you don't have to be good at it. You just grab the object, you get something great. If not, it's okay.
yeah, yeah.
But it makes that person who's receiving like really like pull on some memories that are usually happy, but sometimes not, but that's okay.
I feel that the gift of clairtangency or psychometry is sort of like the funnel or the channel um, to your other gifts. So if I pick
Mm,
up something like salad spoons or whatever, I might then immediately get that energy from touching those spoons sent through me as a clairsentient moment, and I get the feel from it.
mm,
Or immediately sent to my claircognizant, and I get a vision or a memory out of it. Um, or you might start to hear the music being played in the house or
Yeah.
the conversation that was happening around those spoons. I feel like it's more of a channel or a roadway to those other gifts. And I think when it comes to clairtangency, it could spark what we call any of those clairs. And for clairvoyance, I think it sparks something like remote viewing a little bit.
mm,
So you touch,
Essentially that's what you were doing when you had that and you were
yeah,
seeing, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you touch a photo or you touch a piece of jewelry or a child's toy or whatever, and you get transported, and maybe you see that that bedroom or whatever. I remember in one of our early psychic circles when we used to do them at the house instead of the location we have now. I think we were out on the deck. We had like 25 people at this circle. It was
oh
huge.
wow,
And one of the ladies in the circle was really coming into her own and blossoming. And I forget what was going around, a brush or something that would go on a dresser. Maybe it was a frame or whatever. And she goes, oh, I just see the dresser. And being the facilitator of the circles, sometimes either one of us might prod a little bit. And I said, okay, what do you see on the dresser? And she did a whole remote viewing. Turn around, what do you see behind you? And she was able to see the whole room based on just touching whatever that was on the dresser. I don't remember what the object was.
wow,
And so that's a clairvoyant moment. So I feel like clairtangency ignites or is a roadway to your other gifts
or it opens
to
the
get the
door.
message out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like when you say, I just got the number 1941, that's a claircognizant moment,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you were spot on.
yeah, yeah, which
Like
was
her little
incredible.
eyes went boop, and you
Yeah,
were like, "Oh, did I say something wrong?" And she was like trying to
Yeah.
get you to say more.
yeah.
Absolutely. I remember one psychic circle we had. Someone brought in this wartime tin cup.
Oh
And so
wow,
back in the day, you used to get it looked like a cigarette pack, metal cigarette pack, and when you opened it, it turned into a metal cup, and you would get that in your sack for when you went out, to do whatever you needed to do. And it was so cool because I remember somebody heard planes and someone heard gunfire and someone was like super thirsty, and there was all these different variations going around, and finally the woman opened up this little container and it turned into the metal cup.
wow.
Yeah, so like it's a great starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an
It's
igniter of
Igniter,
the gifts.
absolutely.
The clairtangent moments.
Again, I'd love to talk to someone who does everything like just straight
Yeah.
clairtangency without adding all the extra clairs. I'd love to know how you do that. I'd love to hear your words about that because I think knowledge is power. So like,
I mean, we've certainly
Yeah.
had students that do better if they have a photograph or do better if someone brings something that they can connect to. And I feel they're using it more to ignite
Yeah.
than it is to just get that energy.
Yeah.
One of the students that just finished up one of our advanced classes, I set up some readings for her and she asked if they could come with something
Oh.
that she could touch because it's what she's familiar with when we do our psychic circles. So she's familiar with doing a reading that way. And eventually she won't need that. She won't need that igniter,
I
she won't.
like the
Right.
I like the giggling in the background, but
I feel like it's quite appropriate.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Sarah.
but yeah, so there's those that will enhance whatever's happening.
Hmm.
And if it's not something that you want to taste or smell, then you acknowledge it. And we find that as soon as you acknowledge something like that, it'll dissipate.
Mhm.
Like it was just to get your attention and then they pull back,
Mhm.
or you could ask spirit to just kind of pull back because we got the message. So it's cool. It's very cool. But I look forward to our listeners like engaging with us and telling us more about like, you know,
What
different
experiences
ways.
they've had.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
experience you've had.
Absolutely.
What's the strangest smell you've ever had spirit gave you or taste or whatever?
And maybe grab something for you, to practice with.
Right. Right.
When you're sitting home watching your birds, you could grab something from someone and just see what you get off of it.
Right.
And then, yeah, that'll be fun. Homework.
Yeah.
Always the teachers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Oh,
All
so
right.
do
Our affirmations?
we didn't really have any questions, right? From the listeners, nothing yet.
We didn't have any questions about this yet. Or did you
I don't.
get some?
Do we have any questions about any of this? Because if not, I mean, I could think of a random question.
Let's
Um,
pretend someone gave it to us.
okay. All right. So. Okay. So
They're okay, Chris.
Yeah.
They're okay.
It's
It's actually
It's fine.
makes the heart feel good.
it's endearing.
It's
So
reminding us that life is there. It's good.
yeah.
We'll blame it on a spirit later.
Yeah. Greg is laughing at us.
Gregory and Sarah,
Yeah.
they're just laughing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Yeah, no
you.
worries.
So I was wondering, do we have any questions from anybody that we could answer from our
Yeah.
listeners?
So a question that we have is there any a time where you're out in public, you're getting all these senses and you feel like, "Oh, wait, no, I can't take this right now." Then what do you do with that? Do you
Have an anxiety
do
attack?
you just let it go or do you write it down to think of later? How do you handle a situation like
There's a
that?
couple ways to handle that.
Okay.
So I can only go back to my own experience when I was in school at St. Francis Hospital, where the classes were taken, lots of energy there. And so I just made sort of like understanding. If any spirit's coming through with messages, I will just write your name down and later in meditation you can come to me. And that seemed to work.
Oh, okay.
It seemed to work. Only once did it not. You could do that. You can journal out a message if you have your journal by. We always say that journal is one of the most important tools for a psychic to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's voice recording on your phone, an actual little notebook in your pocket, write it down.
Yeah. If it's so strong and you feel like the message and the person that message is for, I'm assuming that these things that I'm getting are not necessarily impacting for me. If they're for me, I could just take that message for me and keep going. But if it's for somebody else, and we don't condone just walking up to a stranger saying, "Hey, Sister Susie's here and here's what she's got to say," that's an invasion.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happened here the very first recording when I was picking up some messaging for Owen, and I asked, "Listen, is it okay if I give you a message?"
Right.
You can always ask permission. And if they look at you wonk-eyed, just say, never mind.
Right. Yes.
But obviously Owen knew what we were doing here, so
Yes.
kind of thing. Or you can do, I mean, Heather's really good at this. She will, if it's something that really needs to come through you, you've been very good at kind of not necessarily saying, "Hey, I'm psychic and I have a message," but putting it into conversation that you have with somebody.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to talk to people. I love talking to people. I overtalk all the time. So like if something's so strong and I'm close to that person, maybe in line or just whatever, I'll try to build it into a friendly conversation instead of saying, "Hey, I'm talking to your deceased so and so." And you just keep it very lighthearted, like very question based, and you can usually turn someone's day around. But not ever would I go up to you and just start giving messages. I don't feel like anybody should be jumping around in someone's mind or body energy unless you have permission.
Right.
So I'll build it into a conversation because it's so strong, or I just have to let it go and I have to calm the anxiety and just keep walking.
Actually, I can remember, and if you would like to share the story, too, the reason journals are so important, you write these messages out. Like I would write messages sometimes when I had a lunch break, and whoever might be in my class, I might need that message. I can give it to them later if they so wanted it. But I remember, and you can tell the story, pick up when you remember, when you know what I'm talking about, the story about the goats, or was it the sheep? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I do. How did that go, though?
I don't know. You had some spirit was coming to you saying, "Let the sheep out,"
Let the
or
sheep out,
"Lead
the
the
goats
goats
out.
out," or something like that.
I'm not
And you
even-
had to write it all down. Do you remember now?
I do.
Tell that story.
I don't actually.
Okay. All
I
right.
do remember I ended up putting it on Facebook.
Yes.
Somebody needs to let their
Or the
goats out or sheep out. Like,
Yes. So
and like 3 people answered me.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
so it was a story she was telling me about, we were
Wow.
talking about the importance of journaling, and she goes, "Oh, I remember the story," and I had to write it all out because I had to pull. It happened in the car, I think.
Yeah.
And you had to pull over, and you had your journal in your car, and you
So
wrote it
long
out,
ago.
and then when you got home, she goes, "I don't have goats, I don't have sheep, but whoever needs to hear this, she put it on Facebook," and you had responses
I
like,
did.
"Thank you, that was for me."
Yeah, 3 people. I remember specifically
What?
3 people said, "Oh yeah, I needed to go let the goat or the sheep." I do remember it, but I don't remember
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time
Well,
ago.
it changed me.
It was
You're going to
pretty
have a
funny. I was
conversation with
like,
a goat herder in your
"What
car
is
when you get.
going on right now? Who needs to let their sheep out?" It's not me. I don't have sheep.
I mean, have you ever had that experience? Like, this stuff's coming to you. What do I do with it? Or
Well, especially at night when I'm trying to sleep, that's
Mm.
usually when I get the most messages, and it just nags at me until I write it down.
Yep.
And I have an app on my phone, and I'll just put it into that. But yeah, and I have found that helpful to just get it out, and then I can move on.
we tell
So-
people, whoever comes to do our psychic mentorship with us, the first things they learn are 2 important skills: that of meditation and that of journaling. And we don't think of meditation as being this whole guru kind of meditation. It's just a way to deal with all the noise in your head. But the journaling is so important. We say keep journals everywhere. I love that Elise has her sketchbook with her all the time.
That used to be you.
I have my sketchbook still.
You do, but when we first started, you used to sketch
everything
all the time. And then we've just evolved, and now you can talk about your sketches instead of actually doing them.
Well, I see them and I don't. Well, if we are doing tandem readings, if we're reading together, sometimes I will be drawing while you're delivering because it's.
I think one of my favorite things is when people come in and they have like a stack of papers from us, because I do pre-channeling sometimes and I would write all that down, and Lisa would have her sketches, and people would come in with like this stack of papers of like, this is what you gave us and this is what you told me, and like you're just like, wow, you saved that. Like it's so
Wow.
incredible. Like
Good
almost
thing
like an
because
autograph.
because we
you
don't
know?
Yeah.
remember. We don't remember it, but
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember
you
it.
could tell how long
As
it's
you can see.
been. You could tell how long it's been that someone has been to see us if they walk through the door and goes, "Oh, you're the one that draws," because
Yeah.
I haven't been
Oh.
the one that draws in, I don't know.
You don't
4 or
want me
5
to
years.
draw. My stick face figures look like they're pooping. Like,
I've drawn out some really intricate pieces of jewelry I've seen, faces.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever done that? Have you just doodled something out onto the
I
paper
mean,
and you were like, where did that come from?
sometimes, yeah, there was one time, in school I was just kind of doodling and it was just like an interesting face and everything, but I didn't
What
pay
about
much.
music? Do you doodle out like lyrics
Um,
or
I mean,
notes?
I tend to just write them out when it comes to mind.
Well,
That's
there you go.
yeah. So
You
that
just said
is
it.
yeah. So that is one of the things that nags at me at night. That
Music?
I have to
Yeah.
whether it's a melody, so I will literally sing into my phone the melody that's just nagging, or I have to write out the lyrics. So
There you go.
One
Yeah.
time I decided I was going to do a voice recorder for dream journaling.
this is gonna be an awesome story. I can feel it.
Probably
It's gonna be pretty epic.
I crack myself up all the time. Usually I would journal things out, and there's a way to journal a dream so you can get all the important elements first and then the things. But I thought I was going to be so cool. I'll just voice record. See here. And I was like, just voice record. But you listen to it back, like, am I drunk? What is on this record? It's like, yeah. And it was like, yeah. And then it was just like, I'm like, okay, that's not helpful.
We're not going to put that on the website.
Oh my god!
Was it right when you woke up that you were?
Oh, I wake up continually through the night. I never sleep through the night, and
Okay.
so I
Understandable.
probably like every 2 hours or so. And in about 5 hours, I'm good, and I should probably just get up. But one time, right out of sleep, and the dream was so vivid, and I really wanted to remember. I was trying so hard. I think it sounded like I don't know what. I sounded like I was drunk, dying, and sick all at the same time with hallucinations going on because it was
Wow.
all about some sort of like terrestrial thing, and then so and so popped in, and then the wave overtook us, and it was just like. But the whole time, my voice is like, like. I listen back to him like this is not helpful. It's not helpful. So now I just, if I'm gonna dream journal, I write it. Yeah, but
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just write it down.
But if you do go into a store or a public place and you're overwhelmed with messages that you know are not for you, sometimes it's just best to take it and say, I hear you, I acknowledge you, I feel you, whatever it is, but unfortunately, I'm not able to pass this message. But I'm happy to take this message, and if a chance arises, and then usually you can feel that like kind of pull away, because you don't need to be responsible for everybody in the grocery store or wherever you are,
or in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I've
or a
had
restaurant.
that.
Yeah,
Wanting to talk.
both
to
Kyle and
just,
her
like,
husband. We have a look apparently. And both, Kyle will say to me, like,
"Ugh,
you're doing
not
that
now."
again.
My
You're
husband
doing
goes,
that thing again. And
Yeah.
it's like, what am I doing? And it's like,
"Who's here?"
we must go into some little slight
What?
trance.
Yeah.
And so we must have like a facial expression that goes with it, because it's always, you're doing that thing again. And it's like, oh,
My husband
sorry.
will go like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" You're talking to them, and because in my mind I'm actually saying, "Not now. I'm on a date. Nope, I'm not gonna do it." Go talk to them. So I'll do this like shaking of my head kind of thing. Of like, it probably looks like I'm having a seizure, but
I don't think it's that bad, but
I personally, I know whenever if I'm out somewhere and I'm getting messages, I'll just be like looking up, and then whoever I'm with, they're like, "Are you trying to listen to the music?
What's up
Like, what
here?
are you?"
What's up there?
And I'm just like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
so you're still here.
I'm listening to. I am listening to something, but it's.
I have a girlfriend, and when she catches me doing stuff like that, she'll go, Heather, fix your face. Because I must do like an inquisitive look, or like something comes up and she's like, fix your face. Something's going on right now.
Yeah.
You get very expressive, faces.
So,
Yeah.
I think it happens even when you're not paying attention, it's happening. But,
Right.
and some people can catch it and call you out on it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, what were you doing? I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You told me to fix my face.
And now a follow-up question to what you just said. So do you find that it helps spirits if you say, I hear your message, I'm getting your message, I will write it down, or I'll take your message? Does that help them?
Well, of course, it would help them. They have
Yeah.
something they want to say. And
Okay.
I have to tell you that most spirits are very considerate. If you ask
Okay.
them not, if you say not now, come back later, back off, it's too much right now. I have never really, except for one instance, have I had a spirit kind of, um, n- not follow suit and be considerate enough to back off or later kind of
Okay.
thing. Well, two
That's good.
instances it has happened to me. Once while I think I shared already, very
Mhm.
tired, where a lady said, "You're gonna take my message whenever."
Mhm.
And then one at a psychic circle where an auntie came through, and even though I said no, kind of overtook. And I think I shared that message too.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember.
that
I remember
instance
that
too.
instance too. Yeah.
And those are the only two that I can think of that weren't considered enough to kind of back off.
Mhm.
But in all of the cases, even when I'm sleeping, I'm like, I just want to stay asleep, not now. I'll do it later. Come to me in meditation. Come to me later.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're respectful, but sometimes it's just so overwhelming just you just do it. And
Mhm.
then that way the energy calms down and you can go back to what you're doing. I do. I think as a psychic medium, messages are healing.
Mhm.
I know there's the entertainment piece of it,
Mhm.
but I think hearing from somebody from the spirit realm is so healing. And so a lot of times when a spirit can give you a message and you can actually pass it, you're going to find there's joy or sorrow, or not bad sorrow, but like, oh, and it's so healing. And for the spirit to either maybe say thank you or I'm sorry, and even though it doesn't make it better, it makes them better because they finally were able to project what they needed to finally say.
That's a good point.
Does it help all the time? I don't know. But I would like to think whenever you reach out to somebody and you say something you need to say and you give them that support, you make it better,
Yeah. That's a good
right?
point.
Like a hug, it makes it better.
Yeah.
Doesn't fix it, but it makes it better. So I feel like sometimes when not all the time, when spirit comes in, it's like, if I say this, I'm going to be a little better too, because I finally got to say my piece.
I
Right.
flip it around, like if there was a mother spirit really trying desperately to connect to their children or whatever with a message, by giving that message, the mom feels heard and feels better.
Mhm.
So if I was that mom in spirit and I desperately needed to say something to my daughter or one of my sons, and the only way I can give that message was through a psychic medium, let's say.
Yeah.
If that was to happen, that would make me feel better.
That's
So,
true.
so
That's
I would
true.
think that by doing that and saying I'll take it down or write it down, I'm sure they feel more relieved
Mhm.
because it's been out there. I remember hearing from somebody. It's not my experience, but somebody that I think I was taking a class from at one point. She was talking about the automatic writing she was doing, and she had connected with a professor who'd never finished writing his textbook
Oh
and wrote the
wow.
textbook through her. She knew nothing of
Wow.
whatever this science was, wrote the whole textbook through her, and when it was done, the message was thank you. It's like an unfinished piece of work
Yeah.
and getting it done. You know what I mean? And so you come
Wow.
across these unfinished pieces of art, unfinished music that was written,
Yeah.
things like that. And to be able to channel them to finish it for them
Mhm.
has got to feel good. I think that's my oldest son took a couple paintings that my mother never finished with I would hope his intention, I believe at the time his intention was to finish them. Whether he did or not, I don't know. But well, I know I don't think he has. But when they comes finished, there'll be some sort of rest with that,
Yeah.
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 Oh, I can't wait to hear from people.
Yeah.
I hope all you
Yeah,
listeners,
keep those questions coming.
keep the questions coming, keep responding to what we're talking about. The knowledge is power,
Absolutely.
and we can all be a united front together and support each other.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because I don't feel it's a competition. I feel like everybody should win. So,
Right.
Affirmation time?
Sure. Absolutely.
yeah.
And maybe one of our viewers or listeners, maybe they'll channel Beethoven and
Yes.
write
Take
Yes. That would be,
yeah. You never
that would
okay.
make my heart sing. Absolutely.
I always try to pick a different one.
I'm going to pick
I think someone else.
green this time.
Hmm.
Thinking deep, apparently. All right.
All right. What you got, Ryan?
Oh, it says your present circumstances don't determine where you go, they merely determine where you start.
I have change your thoughts and you change your world.
Ah,
Absolutely. I celebrate in where I am.
Very good.
nice.
That's,
Hopefully, one of these affirmations helps someone else out there too.
yes.
Absolutely.
Love that. Thoughts. And so,
Come on, Owen. Come on, Emma. Come on, Elise. Let's hear your affirmations. Ooh. All right. All right.
Rejoice in all that, rejoice in all that positive is positive. Will surprise, will surprise.
Oh,
Ah,
that's
that's a good one.
beautiful. Do you want to keep it or put it back?
I'll put it back.
All right.
Mine is follow your dreams, work hard, practice and persevere. Make sure you eat a variety of foods, get plenty of exercise, and maintain a healthy lifestyle.
I feel like some grandma is
I
channeling
feel-
to
I
you,
feel like
Emma.
Yeah.
that was
And
like-
didn't I just ask you about a grandmother earlier today?
Well,
But-
great.
Here's another thing. A lot of people think that psychic mediumship is only speaking to dead people. Our souls speak all the time.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's grandma's soul feeding you.
Or your mom.
Or your great grandma. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
As your faith is strengthened, you will find that there is no longer the need to have a sense of that things will flow as they will, and that you will flow with them to your great delight.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
Oh,
deep.
wow.
Wow. Does
That's a
that
good one.
make sense? Yeah. Very
All right.
cool.
So,
Yeah.
want me to end it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. So, thank you everybody for being with us today. And next podcast we'll be talking about the signs that Spirit gives us to let us know that they're around. So
Thank you for tuning in to Ready to Connect. If you're interested in exclusive behind the scenes content, be sure to like, share, and follow us on social media by searching for Ready to Connect Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And for those looking to further support our podcast, consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/readytoconnectpodcast. And until next time, get ready to connect.